Hey everyone, I was going to go live like, welcome to New York City, live with Dave Shop, and I'm Dave, but I'm not in New York City, but I am live, and I'm probably a minute or two late. Um, yeah, it happens, but I'm here now. So everybody grab your coffee, grab your conversation. Um, Got a few things I want to talk about this morning. Got TikTok on my brain, so I want to see what everybody else is thinking about. So bring your ideas. If you have something you want to talk about this morning on the live, this is the place to share your thoughts and grab some coffee. Uh, RPB, old man joined. Good morning. Kathy Toole joined. Barbara Manley joined. Thank you, everyone, for joining me this morning. I'm just sitting here talking to the screen, waiting for people to grab their coffee. Kel's just joined. Kathy, thank you. And I said, because it's like when you start the live, I think I started the live a minute or two late. So I was kind of like chastising myself for being late. I hate that, but it happens, when you need another refill on your coffee and the microwave won't hurry up because um, um, I like my coffee pretty smoking hot because when I come out here and start talking, it usually ends up getting cold before I can drink much of it. So, good morning, everybody. It's Thursday morning, January the 29th. Just think, January's fixing to be over. It's going to be February. Can you believe that? Second month of the new year. Isn't that crazy? I think all my YouTubers are still asleep. No, there's a couple of people on watching. So, yeah, good morning. So, if you're new here, let me know where you're from. We'll start off with that. We can, and tell me what the weather's like there because I didn't look, but I don't believe it might have got to freezing last night. I think it's going to be maybe mid 40s today. And then supposedly Friday, tomorrow, there's another cool front or cold front coming in. North 64, good morning. AB 123. I like that handle. It's simple. It's clean. Pear tree. I like yours too. Kristen Plymouth. Plymouth. Okay. Thanks. Thank you, everybody, for joining me this morning. So, I was going to start off. Hey, Kim. There we go. There's my loyal YouTuber. I was going to start off the morning. Everybody, hopefully, has seen Saturday Night Live. So, I was like, welcome back to New York City. It's time for, Dave Shop, and I'm Dave. So anyway, I have, okay, AB123 is from Eastern North Carolina, and it's 24 degrees there. There you go. Was it? Somebody just popped in amateur radio. I thought they said Amarillo, West Texas. If you're still out there, come on back. See, there, AB123, she understands what Saturday Night Live was. When I was young, and I mean, that was the show to watch late. And, we didn't have any money, so we couldn't go out. We were broke as a joke. So that was our thing on Saturday, to watch Saturday Night Live and stay up late, played cards, played dominoes. Anybody on the live ever play dominoes? Is that a game that nobody plays anymore? I love playing dominoes. And there's all kinds of domino games. Anybody, and if you're a real old timer, you can tell me if you've ever played 42. That's a domino game. My grandmother used to. That used to be a real big deal. Chris, I bet, knows what 40. Chris, you ever played 42 or you just play regular dominoes? Good morning. Your grandmother used to play 42. Yeah, 42 used to be a real big deal. You know, in the past, you know, they played cards a lot more. They played dominoes a lot more. It was great. Stephen Johnson. Hey, everybody. It is Stephen Johnson's birthday. So here we go. You ready? Stephen, you're going to regret telling me it was your birthday because, you know, when it's your birthday, I'm going to have to sing happy birthday to you. Are you up for that? Happy birthday, Stephen. Chris is already saying happy birthday to you. So here we go. 1, 2, 3. Stephen, you ready? You're not commenting. I think he's in shock. So here we go. Happy birthday to you. Woo. Happy birthday to you. Woo, woo. Happy birthday, dear Stephen. Hope you have a great day. Woo. He's probably like 67, and I just sang happy birthday to him like a little kid. What do you think? Yeah, he says yes. Well, it's fun, and Stephen, I hope you have a wonderful, happy birthday. Anybody, you know, if it's your birthday, let me know so that we can celebrate it. And everybody, if you're on the YouTube channel, go check out Stephen, give him a quick follow. That's one thing I like to tell everybody on TikTok. If you're here, let me know where you're from. If you're a first-time person, make sure that you like, share, follow. Same thing on YouTube. I'm just telling everybody straight up, I'm on a quest. I need 10,000 followers. And, you know, people joining the lives, that seems to be where most of them are coming from. And so... I mean, I get followers from other stuff too, but that's I do this 5 days a week, and so if you can find it in your heart to do something kind and free this morning, and you like what you're hearing, or you're you know, just got me in the background, you know, kind of like you're half asleep, go ahead and give me a follow. Thank you for the follow there. Appreciate that. I still have not got, you people must not have any questions. I still have been requesting some ideas for question of the day. I really, really would like to have some come in so that I can, you know, use them on the video saying, hey, this question came from so-and-so, and give you some, you know, share some of the love and you know, put your name out there too. So if you have a question of the day, and this is the first time you've heard it, send me your question of the day. If you're on YouTube, you can send it in the comments. If you're on TikTok, send it to my email address, daveshop2@gmail.com. And if I use your question of the day in a video, I'm going to make sure that you get credit for it and let everybody know where I got the question of the day. And I just think that adds a little a fun thing to it. I don't know what everybody else thinks about question of the day, but I get a lot of responses and people engage. And so and a few times when I've stopped doing it, I've had people say, hey, I didn't see your question of the day. So if you want to get involved and help grow that, well, definitely send me your question of the day so that I can use it. You know, and at this point, nobody's sending them. So the first few people that get them in, you know, I'm going to use your question probably. Hey, Casey. How's it going, buddy? You still out in West Texas this morning? Stephen, that's a bummer you have to work on your birthday, but I sure do understand. Thank you for joining us this morning. I hope we got your day started off right. We're here weekdays, 6 a.m. So come back and join us again. Justin Jones, hey man, how's it going? Your first time here on YouTube, make sure you let me know where you're from and how cold it is where you're at. So I really have a kind of well, I got a few things I want to talk about this morning. Unlike most mornings, I come here and sit down and go, what in the world are we going to talk about? But today I have something I do want to talk about. And it's about, Casey says he's headed to Seguin. Okay. I catch that, Justin. Great. Justin is over here on YouTube from Kentucky, and it's 12 degrees. Now that's cold. Ooh, that's colder than a coal miner's honey. That's funny. Yeah, that is cold. Thank you, Justin, for actually engaging. Yeah, I love it. What's Lucas say? You're keep going. Lucas, I am not going to give up going. I have too much fun at this, and I keep. What's Chris said? The first stolen car I recovered was out of Kentucky. There you go. So, Justin, if you don't know, Chris goes by Cow Cop, is a retired Texas DPS officer. And now he just made the comment that one of the first stolen cars he ever recovered came out of Kentucky. So yeah, North 64 Outdoors. Thanks for the subscribe on YouTube. I appreciate you. But anyway, so today what I want to talk about is, let me find it. I want to talk about TikTok for a minute. Is everybody in for that? If you are, send me a thumbs up, emoji, a poop emoji, something, so I know that you're listening. Everybody knows that, of course, and me being in the dark, I don't know why I didn't know. I hadn't heard anything. I can't imagine that I'm the only person that hadn't heard or read anything about TikTok actually selling. And now it is owned by a group of investors, Oracle being one of them, and then Silver Lake. And Silver Lake is a private equity company, so they just invest. And then MGX, I've never heard of MGX, but it says that they are a AI firm based out of the Middle East somewhere. I'm like, okay. And then, locally, someone I do know is Michael Dell from Dell Computers. And you say, well, how do you know? Well, I can tell you because he built one of his first big office here in Central Texas, right in my backyard, which caused me to sell my home and move. Because his parking lot lights kept my backyard lit up like a dance hall all night long, and they wouldn't turn the lights off. So yeah, I know who he is, and not a bad guy. He does a lot of good stuff. But anyway, he's in on the purchase of TikTok, and the original owners. ByteDance still owns 19.9, so let's just say 20% of the company. And so just to give you a little information, and I don't have this memorized. I have it up here on the screen that I'm refreshing my memory on. But the deal was worth $14 billion. And some people think that was not near enough money. Kenny McCormick, South Park. Thanks, man. I appreciate this. Yeah. Thanks. That project was something that was started by cleaning up a mess, and it has turned out really well, and I get a lot of compliments on it. So thank you. I appreciate it. And thank you for following me too. I appreciate that. So anyway, so there's that part of it. But then there's people that I'm reading now that are saying that they, yeah, I do. So Kenny, I get signs. I've gotten a few signs, like if you see the purple cattleman license plate, I got that from Cow Cop right here, one of my original live supporters. Most of these behind me were gifts. A few were morning, George. A few were items that TikTok shop vendors, sent me for a video. So, and then, but I'd say the majority of them were bought or given to me by friends, family, and it's really funny when you start something like this and people see it. Like back in October during Halloween, we always set up at the end of the driveway. We have there's a school, elementary school in our neighborhood, so we have a lot of families that have elementary age kids in the neighborhood. So Halloween's a big deal. They're out trick or treating, and I probably had, I don't know, 20 dads see this wall from the street and ask if they could come up in the garage and look at it. So yeah, so it's been so thank you for noticing. I appreciate it. This really wasn't my idea. My idea was putting the cedar on the wall, but it was my granddaughter's idea for putting all the signs up. So I have to give them all the credit, and I just did some of the work. Janet Jackson just joined. Good morning. So I had a post on TikTok. I'm reading some stuff about TikTok. We're back to TikTok to help fix. Really? Wow. Yeah. I'm sorry to hear that, Justin. Wow. Yeah, it sounds like you might need an electrician. Well, you should keep posting. Post on, get on Facebook. A lot of times you can find somebody that is licensed and can help you out with that. Will Bud, have you looked into Nick Fuentes? That name's come up twice. I don't think so. Did I write that down? Where is it? My pen. I let somebody borrow my pen, of course. However, voila, I have a backup. Will Bud, refresh my memory. Yeah, Justin, your electricity bill was $290. Yeah, I think mine was $3 something this last month. So yeah, I get you. I feel your pain there, buddy. So yeah, the signs in the back. Thank you, Kenny, for pointing those out. I appreciate it. And yes, and I've had some positive and negative. I shot a video. Here, I'll show it to you. And hopefully this doesn't get banned. But anyway, you see this sign right here? So that sign was on the wall, and you wonder, well, why isn't it on the wall? I shot probably 3 or 4 videos with that on the wall in the background. And TikTok said that I was promoting Texaco. How about that one? Is that not stupid? And what I learned from that is, and I have another place I'm going to put it. And from that, I learned that with TikTok, a lot of times you're dealing with an AI computer, and you cannot win an argument with them. And then just recently, I was like, all of a sudden, for all these videos not getting any views. I mean, 3 or 4 days and they're just sitting at 0. And so only to find out when I was looking at, I got a message yesterday. It says, you have 47 violations. And I said, 47 violations? What have I done? Well, they give you a diatribe about this long. They don't tell you jack in it. You can't talk to anybody or email anybody to confirm, well, what mistake did I make so that I don't make that mistake again? And then you realize it's a computer that's done it. And so I'll share this, maybe I'm the only retard that didn't know this, but when you're posting a video, there's a link in there that says location. Me, common sense, I'm thinking location. Okay, well, maybe they want to know, where you're posting from. And so I would put Texas, right? That's where I'm doing stuff from. Well, they have apparently some kind of promotion or some kind of deal going on where if you go stay at some specific hotel or business, it's their way of you can post a video about it. And I don't know. I didn't read all the details. I saw it months ago and I thought, well, that's stupid. I ain't going to do that, or at least for me. And so they flagged 47 videos and said, you're doing a terrible job. And you have a location violation. I'm like, what the hell does that mean? No explanation about what it really meant. Just that, and it took me probably 2 hours. I was smoking piss, and I'm thinking, well, I don't know what I did wrong or how to fix it. And so when it finally dawned on me, I said, are they talking about that promotion that was months ago that they started? And so I go back and do research, and sure enough, I think that's what I'm 99% sure that's what they're talking about. So if you're ever posting a video, learn from my mistake. Don't fill in the location, period. Just leave it blank. That's not they don't really care where you're from or where you're posting from. That's part of that promotion. And because I'm telling you, it's just dumb. And of course, is there any way to contest it? No. Is there anyone to talk to? No. So I know it's a AI and a computer that flagged all that. So yeah. He's American first. Okay, well, I am going to check him out. Is he on YouTube? Anyway, so what really probably bothers me is that I have to it's just burgers on the grill. Morning, my God, how you doing? So it's like it's just really frustrating, and I've got to go back and reshoot some new videos and not fill in that location. So if you're posting any videos, when you get to the part where it says location, just ignore that because if anybody from TikTok's listening, you need to make your promotions clear, and you need to not put stuff as a standard, in line of like, okay, posted videos, 1, 2, 3. These are the things I do when I post a video. And you don't wait till somebody posts 50 videos for you to go, hey man, don't do that. That's not meant for that. We're using that for this promotion. So anyway, there you go. So there's that part. And then back to talking about, there's a lot of people that are worried about some of the buyout. First first everybody was worried that TikTok was going to go away. And, you know, I get it. People put a lot more effort and time and resources into their TikTok accounts. And a lot of them are TikTok system notification, Chevy or Ford. Oh my God. And you know, it's a lot of people are making lots of money off of it. And so I got why they were, you know, concerned about, you know, it possibly going away. Well, it's not going away. It did get, definitely not Dodge. I'm with you there, buddy. It got sold, but ByteDance still owns about 20%. But they're talking about moving stuff to different servers. And I think the one thing, let me find it in this article. So it looks like all the data now is going to be stored on Oracle servers here in the US. And so it says that the For You page might become much slower and less accurate than the global version because it's being served from a massive global data instead of a set that, anyway, that global server apparently they thought did a better job than what server that Oracle is going to use and store it on. And they talk about in the article that market analysis and reporting say that there was a 150% spike in people deleting the app. So, yeah, I don't know. I was like, well, I haven't considered that. I didn't, you know, maybe there's some other things that people run into. So, yeah. So I have like 3 questions. And I think I used one last night. And I may use the other 2 for other videos, but you know, what's your thoughts on that? Do you think now that it's owned, Fuentes is further right than Stephen Miller and Stephen Bannon? Oh, wow. Okay. Easy. I love my goat. That's funny, Chris. You should be on the radio. Well, thanks, Justin. I appreciate that. But you know, right? I don't know. That would probably be the one thing that I would think TikTok really needs to improve on, is just letting the AI, you know, flag people for violations. And I've heard it from other creators on TikTok where they've had that same issue. So anyway, frustration sometimes when people do work and then you know, gets flagged for a violation that they can't. Yeah, they just need to do a better job of explaining their stuff, what to use and what you shouldn't use, and only make it available to people who actually sign up for whatever special promotion they're using. So I'm hoping that you know, that it's good and they don't mess up the algorithm. But anyway, I didn't know. Anybody else have any real concerns about that? Maybe not, you know. Anyway, so that's my 2 cents worth on TikTok today. I guess time will tell, right? So let's move on. First, let me get a cup of coffee. You know, it's funny. As long as I've been on YouTube since 2019, and every day I learn something new that is supposed to help your videos do better, and you know, gain followers. And you know what I think a lot of, but I still think either that or so long form videos on YouTube for me, this is just my personal opinion, have really sucked. I create what I consider, a good enough video that it would get views. And I mean, used to you'd post a long form video, and within a week, you could have between 500 and 1,000 views easy, without much effort. And now you spend lots of time a lot of time creating a long form video. You try to check all the boxes, make sure everything's right, and you get 20 views, and you're like, what? And I mean, it still gets views. It's just so much slower. And yet you post a video that's under 3 minutes, because YouTube has expanded that to be included in as a short, and you shoot it vertically. In less than 24 hours, you've got 2,000-3,000 views for the same exact video, and it could just be a part of a video of a long form. So I'm just thinking people are really kind of getting away from wanting to watch long form videos, even though the numbers say that that's not true. But I don't know. Mowing God, oh, that's Chris. Chris, are you saying that you have a Dodge truck? Oh no, four Chevys. Yeah, I think everybody's trucks are different. I have a Ford, of course, I'm not out in the pasture in it or towing cattle trailers and horse trailers and all of that. Okay, you have a 3/4 ton diesel. Is it a Dodge? That Cummins engine in the Dodge is pretty good. It's all the other stuff around it that I hear people complain about. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Dodge makes a good. I'm telling you, that Cummins diesel engine is good. I've heard a lot of people complain more about the Ford diesel engine, Chevy Duramax. I've heard, out of the three, as far as diesel engines go, I've heard more negative about the Ford diesels than any of them. As far as the actual engine goes, that Cummins engine that they put in the Dodge diesels, that engine is really, really tough to beat. Casey has a F-250 diesel. And I mean, some people have them and have no issues with them. Other people, I think I think on any of those diesels, the more bells and whistles they put on them, it's just more stuff to break for the next 20 trucks. Every one of Dodge. I know, you're right. You don't have to. Will Bud, I'm going to check him out. I'll check him out today. Taz 19921. Don't get with the configuration bypass. Oh man, that's funny. So anyway, there you go. You got to hear my rant and rave for my TikTok frustration. It's just enough to drive me crazy. We here in Texas, we do have some more cold weather coming, but I don't believe we're going to have any more, at least in central Texas. I don't believe we're going to have any more like sleet or ice or snow, just some colder weathers. They're talking about Saturday night into Sunday that lows are going to be again around 17, 18 degrees. So if you're not already wrapping your outside faucets, get them wrapped. Don't use a towel. They got the little foam things that you can put on them, but what I found works the best is they make now, it's like an insulated sock, and you just slip it over. It's got a drawstring on them. They seem to work. They're easier to maintain and put on, and they seem to do a better job. Usually those foam ones for me, they're not deep enough. They don't hold a good seal around the faucet, so I'm into using those. I've seen people use Whataburger cups. I mean, there's lots of ways to insulate it. The reason they say don't put a towel around it is because if it sleets or snows, the towel gets wet and it freezes too. So then you got that there. Casey, looks like you're going to be over in Phoenix on Monday. Okay. Well, maybe you'll be away from some of that murder cold weather. Emma just joined. Thank you. Thank you for the like, Emma. Appreciate you joining. Peyton just joined. Goat Girl, 63. I love goats. My granddaughters, when they were in FFA, they raised and showed goats. And so, yeah. Goats make great pets. If I ever have a place again outside the city where I have some property, I will definitely have a goat or two. They're good, cabrito. They're good to eat. I like cabrito, but they're great for. They're great to have around. Just they keep they keep your trees trimmed and brush and. In the Texas Hill Country, we got a lot of that. So, I'd have to have a goat and a donkey. Donkeys are good because they keep away the coyotes and they kind of protect your goats. If you didn't know that, yeah. But cabrito's good too. I've had the last time I had cabrito, I was in Nuevo Laredo on the Mexico side. Been quite a few years because I don't really think it's all that safe to go down there anymore. Peyton shared the live. Thank you, Peyton. Appreciate it. So, what's on everybody's mind? We made it till Thursday. Tomorrow is Friday. We've had schools closed. We've had snow and ice and winter weather. It's crazy, but we made it, and it's Thursday, and tomorrow's going to be Friday, and then woo, it's the weekend again. Somebody told me once when you retired that your days all run together, and they're right. They do begin to run together. I've had to ask my wife a couple of days, what day is it? Because you get, out of your normal routine, it changes a bit. Okay. Let me ask this question. Let me see. What else is going? Well, I haven't heard. I haven't heard. Has Trump done anything to stir up the media? Yesterday, the day before. In 9 Saturdays, it's river time. Oh, okay. What's river time mean, George? Anyway, I'm waiting for George to answer me. So, okay, so here we go. Boat camper on the Merrimack River. Okay. I like to go camping. My wife is not really crazy about camping. She likes to go glamping, and so she wants to be able to, and understandably, especially in this part of the country, it just gets hot as hell. And if the last time we went camping, it was in, it's probably been 3 or 4 years ago, and our neighbors, they go camping every year in, I want to say late March. There's a whole group of them that go camping. They go to the same place out west of here, and in a big campground. And so we all go out there. And the first night, a freaking monsoon hit. It rained 5 inches. We had water coming in the tent. She was so mad she couldn't see straight. And that's the last time we've been camping. So yeah, I hadn't been able to convince her of that since. Kind of ready for it's hot. You're right. You're correct. But I tell you what, when you wake up and you're laying in a river of water that's running in your tent, the camping part kind of goes out. You know, and the bad thing is we had sat around the campfire. It was really pretty nice. It wasn't too hot. It wasn't too cold. It was, pretty good weather for camping. Everybody was having fun. And I guess, this just storm kind of blew up on us in the middle of the night. And I mean, it was crazy. Good morning, Ed. How you doing? So as a quick reminder tonight, don't forget men's Bible study, 6:30 Central Standard Time. Probably not in Ed's garage, but in one of the other guys' garage, I'm guessing, because it's still, thank you, because it's still really cold in that part of the country, but everyone is welcome. Daisy Girl 72, hey, how you doing? So just to let you know, 6:30 tonight Central Standard Time, we will be live on TikTok and I believe on Good Morning and on YouTube too, unless for some reason Ed forgets his iPad or something. Other than that, normally it's on the and a great time, good time to reflect, and you can do it from the comfort of your home. So come join us tonight. Ed does a really good job with the Bible study. And it looks like we're going to be in a nice heated garage. Well, and for me, I'm going to be sitting on the couch or in my easy chair. So that's usually where I join from. But they joined there in Illinois. Here lately, it's been in Dennis's garage because it's heated, so makes perfect sense. So great. Let's see. So I wanted to remind everybody of that. I was gonna say, how about let's do Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? Do y'all remember that show? Is that me Tupa says in my heat garage, Minnesota. I can imagine, of course I have heaters in here too, but it's not, I say, in the last week, it's been pretty dang cold, and I'm really glad that I insulated the door, and that helped a lot. And, at one point, these two little heaters, those two little white heaters behind me, they had the temp inside this garage up to about 71 or 72 degrees when it was, 24, 25 outside. So I thought that was pretty good. And even when it didn't keep it at 70, it was still in the mid to upper 60s in here. And that's pretty comfortable where I could actually work out here. Anyway, so my question was, does anybody remember the show Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? Nobody? Yes? U.S. Kayak Fishing Magazine just joined. Thank you. Yep. Chris remembers. Oh, wow. They kept popping the circuit breaker. Yeah, so a lot of times heaters, I don't know how old your house is. It could be the breakers were weak. Could be that the heaters you got are drawing too many amps, and you had them on the same circuit. A lot of times, what I try to do is put them on two different circuits because, yep, you're right. Jeff Foxworthy Worthy was the host. You know, it's funny that you say Jeff Foxworthy because before I started the live this morning, I was scrolling through social media and a video came up with Jeff Foxworthy in it. And he was talking about how he goes to I don't know if it was a church that it was held at or a facility. I think it was a facility and not a church, but where drug addicts and homeless people, if they agree to get clean and accept help, that this organization will host them and provide them meals and a place to live for a year and try to help them get back on their feet. And he was talking about this video was shot during Christmas time. And Jeff Foxworthy goes there for Bible study. Once, I think he said on Tuesdays, he's telling the story that he went to, I guess, the director of the facility and said that, he had been doing Bible study with this group of men, 120 men or clients that were there. I think he said most of them. He indicated that they were men mostly. But anyway, so he's telling the story about it's Christmas time. He's been doing Bible study there for a year, and he thought that the one thing that was missing was that everything was been given to this group of men because they got clean, and they were feeding them and giving them food and a place to live and education, whatever they needed was being taken care of. And so he felt like that they needed to know what it felt like to give back. And if you know Jeff Foxworthy, he gives back a lot. He volunteers his time, he gives of his money. He doesn't just talk the talk, he walks the walk. As you might say. So anyway, he's telling a story, and what he wants to do is he wants to give each one of these 120 people $100 bill and have them go out and give to other people who were in need, so that they felt like so that they could experience what it felt like to give and not receive. And so they apparently the director thought $100 was too much because they had alcoholics and drug addicts, and he was concerned that they might use the money for the wrong things. So what they did is they agreed on $50. So Jeff Foxworthy goes to the bank and gets 120 brand new $50 bills and has a whole stack of them. Everybody's around in their Bible study, and he gives each one of them a crisp $50 bill. And there's a bucket in the middle of the circle. And he goes on to he's telling them, he said people are having different reactions, like, oh, great, I can get a bus ticket, I can see my mom, I can buy my kid a present, different things. And then Jeff tells them, hey, here's the deal with the $50 bill. You can keep it and spend it on yourself. Or the children's hospital, that Christmas, there was going to be like 300 kids in the hospital during Christmas. And so they could donate the money to the hospital for Christmas gifts for kids. They could, they had a lot of homeless people in the area, and it was really cold, and a lot of them, didn't have jackets or warm clothing, and so they were going to be able to donate money to the homeless shelter. They were going to go out. Actually, what they were going to do is go out and buy winter coats and stuff, and then go out on the street and pass them out. Anyway, there's like 3 or 4 things that they came up with, and anyway, so the story goes that all 120 men put all the money back in the bucket. They didn't keep any of it, and then they even went further. They went into their pockets and put money they already had in the bucket, and then they went back to their rooms, and a lot of them had little jars of change and stuff, and they put all that in there, and so all of that turned into a big giving thing. So yeah, that was the lesson that he was teaching. So I just thought it was an interesting story, and there you go. Just goes to show you that given the opportunity, I think people like to give more than they take. Da-da, da-da. Let's see. That's my foot. 2 different circuits. Okay. Well, I don't know. Yeah. Those heaters, though, those electric heaters, they draw. Some of them can draw a lot of amps. But yeah. And two, if y'all don't know, I mean, if you've ever not paid attention, I don't think, Ed, your garage is not insulated, is it? I believe I saw exposed studs in his garage, so maybe I'm wrong. That's great. Both of those are George. Both of those are great organizations too. Not yet. So that's great. Tim, Mighty Taylor. Oh yeah. Hey man. Right. Thanks for the sub there. I appreciate that. Thank you. Tiny Mike Taylor. I like that handle. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. That's great. So yeah, I just thought that was fun. A really great thing to do. Yeah, as cold as it gets in northern Illinois, there where Ed is, I believe I would probably spray foam those walls for insulation. I think it'd be the easiest and probably most effective insulation you could put up. Just my opinion. I don't know what the cost difference would be. Otherwise, you're going to be putting some type of batt insulation and I guess sheetrock. But yeah, Salvation Army is nice. I know. Yeah, so a lot of times when we have stuff here locally, there's Salvation Army and there's a lot of Goodwills. And I'm not saying anything bad about the Goodwill either, but we usually try to donate most all of our clothes and things that are in good shape. If we're going to donate them, we try to donate them to the Salvation Army. They do a lot of good work. Carolyn, thank you. Anyway, so back to Smarter Than a Fifth Grader, and it was hosted by Jeff Foxworthy. That guy is really funny. And so I always remember watching that show thinking, wow, can you imagine that they made a show on around questions, are you smarter than a fifth grader? So I don't know. Let's see here. I want to see. I'm trying to find a question to ask. Okay, so this is a science question. It says, so are you smarter than a fifth grader? It says, what is the only state of matter that has a definite volume but no definite shape? What do y'all think? Put your answer in the comments. Yes. Close, but no cigar. 166 just joined. Thank you for joining, buddy. Anybody on YouTube got an answer? No answers over here. Come on, my YouTube buddies. Okay, all right. No. One correct answer. Tiny Mighty Taylor has answered the correct. I think Calcott did too. It's liquid. So we do now know we have a few people that are smarter than a fifth grader. Always like these questions. They're pretty fun. Okay, so here's the next question. Are you smarter than a fifth grader? Which part of the plant is responsible for absorbing water and minerals from the soil? Oh, this one's too easy. Charles Coble just joined. Hey man, how's it going? Wandering answer to what? So the question is, what part of a plant is responsible for absorbing water and minerals from the soil? Wanderer, you got it correct. Mighty Tyler got it correct. Yeah, that was an easy one. Let me see if I can find it. Let's see. Okay, so here's a different one. This is another science question. Are you smarter than a fifth grader? Sound travels faster through water than it does through air. Is that true or false? True or false? And don't Google it. The Wanderer says it is true. Who else? Anybody else got an answer? They think Wanderer on TikTok's right or wrong? True. My wife agrees. Oh, George. You're killing me there, buddy. I don't know. Chris, I know that one. Huh? Yes, the answer is true. Sound travels about 4.3 times faster in water. I didn't know that answer either, so I must not be smarter than a fifth grader. But that was a good one. That was one I wasn't expecting. Okay, so here's to all you mathematicians. Cheryl, good morning. You learned something new about the question I asked. I did too. I didn't know that either. Ron Lawson joined. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us this morning. We're just kind of having a little fun. You missed out on the happy birthday and me singing, and I know you. So, like I said, if it is your birthday, don't make it up. Let me know, and I'll sing happy birthday to you too. And when I did that, the followers just all dropped off all of a sudden. Either that or they were laughing at it wrong, but I'm not sure which one. Okay, so here's the math question. You ready? If a right angle, let me read this correctly. If a right triangle has one angle that's 30 degrees, so it's a right triangle has one angle that is 30 degrees. What's the measurement of the third angle? Wanderer, thanks for the follow. I appreciate you. What's the measurement of the third angle? Toddy Mighty put her guess in. Oh, yes, we have a right answer. Toddy Mighty, sorry, you were off by about 20 degrees. Tupa got it. Chris got it first. Both of you are correct. It is 60 degrees. Okay, so this one's kind of easy. Let's see if you're smarter than a fifth grader. What's the name of a polygon with 8 sides? What's the name of a polygon with 8 sides? Does anybody know that one? I know. Exactly. So you can draw it out. Oh, I tell you what. Tiny Mike Taylor's pretty sharp. She sharp as a nail, buddy. She has the answer right. So does Chris. Octagon. Octagon. We got some smart little cookies here. Wander, how about that? Wander puts the mathematical equation on the chat. You're right. You're correct. Let's see here. Okay. Okay, a little geography here. How about this one? Tell me which continent is also a country? Which continent is also a country? And you know, when I did a survey on this, and I did it on YouTube, only 17% of people, George jumped in there, Wander, Calcott, Tiny Mike Taylor, wrong answer, Tiny, you missed that one just a little bit, but close. And Casey was absolutely right. He's the only one that got around Texas. A fist bump there, buddy. No, it's actually Australia. George and Calcott got it correct. Okay. Oh, now this one's hang on a minute. Okay, so this one's I'd be surprised how many people might not. What does Calcutta enforcer do? So that's a good question, Wander. He is a peace officer for the Southwest Cattle Association, which is probably one of the oldest associations in Texas. They've been around since the 1800s, and he investigates cattle theft, horses, equipment, anything to do with horse trailers, vehicles, all kinds of stuff. And a neat fact about them is that they have jurisdiction, and they are the only law enforcement member who has the state law enforcement person that has jurisdiction in Texas and Oklahoma. But yeah, they've been around protecting ranchers, livestock since the 1850s. They originally were formed to protect cattle from being rustled while they were driving them to the markets. See, there you go. He's got to go do an interview. Somebody stole a horse. You know, horse thieving used to be a hangable offense. I don't think it is anymore, but it's probably if I had to guess, and I don't know this for sure, but I know somebody who can tell us. Chris, is horse theft a state jail felony? Class A, B, what is it? It's so a lot of times what turns theft into a felony is the value of what was stolen. Will Cole, Jesus is Lord, he loves you. Repent before it's too late, everybody. Thank you, Will. 3rd degree felony. Oh, really? Okay. So we went from hanging cattle rustlers back in the 1800s to now we just jail them and they're charged with a 3rd degree felony. Yeah, that's correct. Chris spends a lot of time at the sale barns just checking cattle, making sure that their tags are correct and that they're not stolen property, because a lot of them try to run those cattle through sale barns and stuff, and then at some point they become untraceable, or they'll remove tags from their ears. There's probably all kinds of stuff that I'm not 100% with, but yeah. So that's what he does, Wander. And a great organization. Just so you know, if you live in the state of Texas, if you are not a member of that association, there are no state tax dollars that support that. They are all supported by members. Currently there's around 30,000 or so. So that's how they get paid. They are backed up by the Texas TPS, though. Isn't that correct, Chris? I believe that's what you told me once before. Anyway, yeah. But prior to that, Chris he's retired from Texas Department of Correction, Texas Department of Safety. He was a DPS officer, sergeant. No government money. Yeah, exactly. So, you never know. Catch cattle thieves, they might. No, I don't say that. Okay, so here we go. So here's the next one. This one's around, I guess it could be considered history. What are the three branches of the United States government? Excuse me. There's a lot of people, I don't think they could answer that question. Awesome. Rest your cattle means. That's, yeah. Yeah, wouldn't it be great if you could? So people ask questions all the time about why we stream TikTok and YouTube at the same time, and there's a really good reason for it. And the main reason is, well, not being selfish, is that you just reach more people because you do. But the other reason is YouTube on a live stream, they turn it into a long form video immediately. You don't have to do anything. When the live's over, they start processing it. It takes them about 24 hours. It's turned into a live stream. So if you ever miss it on YouTube, you can go back and watch any of the lives that we've had. And you can, maybe there's a part that just pertains to you or a specific part of a conversation. You can go back and watch that if you ever want to. And for me, being, I don't know if it's called being selfish or not, but doing what I'm trying to do is, my wife asked me the other day, she goes, "You keep talking about wanting to get 10,000 followers." I said, well, for some reason, and I'm not sure why, but when you're trying to monetize different aspects of YouTube or TikTok, 10,000 followers that's some magic number. And I see people all the time that have 50,000 followers or 150,000 followers, and or more. And that's a lot of people. And some people say, well, the following count doesn't really matter, but yeah, I think it does. Ratty Cat, thank you for joining. I don't know. That's a good question. Yeah, I don't think we're going to answer that. Yeah. Such a big comment. That can be taken different ways, but it's kind of like calling somebody a dork or a loser is what is most commonly used for these days. But it's a slang. Hi, Anna, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. Yeah, Pam Rosen just joined. Thank you, thank you. Legislative, executive, and judicial. You is one smart little lady. Sorry, I had to look at your icon almost. I didn't want to call you a gentleman. You're not. I thought it was more. Yeah. Yeah. Pam Rosie, good morning from Great Hills, Montana. Hey, Pam, tell me, what is the temp in Great Falls, Montana? Never been there, but it sounds like a. And what's the population there, too? Casey's in San Antonio. Casey, you're all around. You're not that far from home. I'm just waiting for Pam to tell us what the temp is in Great Falls, Montana. Anybody ever been to Great Falls, Montana? I've never been to the state of Montana. I think I would like to go. I've had people tell me that if you drive and you go to Montana, there's miles and miles and miles of just nothing. So, but there's some really pretty views up there. I'd like to go to Montana. I'd like to go to Wyoming. We want to go in the summertime. Yeah, for sure. It definitely gets cold. Josephina just joined. Thank you. Iowa here. Okay. Midwest. I know it's cold there. Connie might. Or I'm going to just call you Taylor. 14 hours to drive from east to west of Montana. Well, that's not too bad, I guess. I mean, 14 hours is still a pretty good drive. Casey said he's been there before. Wow. San Antonio, my favorite city in Texas, but only been to Amarillo. Feel it in Dallas. Okay. The last time I was in Amarillo, I've been to Amarillo multiple times when I was in the coffee business, but the last time I was in Amarillo, I was traveling and I spent the night in Amarillo on my way to Colorado. And went from southern Colorado over into Mexico. Okay, so here's another "Are you smarter than a fifth grader?" question. Are you ready? Which ancient civilization built the Machu Picchu? Let's see if I can pronounce this right. Machu Picchu complex in Peru. And what they're asking for is the name of the people who built that. How about over here, Tiny? You got an answer for that one? George, you are correct. It is Inca. Wonder and Calca Maya. You're correct too. You are correct. So has anybody got anything exciting they're doing today that you want to share? You got birthday, anniversaries, anything like that coming up? Nothing? Come on. You can share. I was going to tell Casey, hey, Casey, I saw that video that Leah posted when it was snowing, sleeting, whatever, but it was pretty. I was surprised that it made it that far south. But yeah, looked like she was having a fun time outside in the ice, snow, sleet, whatever you want to call it that we got. And then Casey's showing us pictures when he's in North Dakota and it looks in a blizzard. And I'm like, wow, I'm glad I'm not there. And he was shooting that from the inside of his truck. So it was crazy. Okay, so here's some English and grammar, and I'm probably not good at this, but this is are you smarter than a fifth grader question. In the sentence, the quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. What part of speech is the word jumps? Cybersecurity course. Oh, so you're working on cybersecurity? I've done some cybersecurity training, and only to find out from some guys that did that part of that work in the company I work for that it's very, very hard to break into that field because a lot of them, even if you get certified, they want like what's your experience. Matter of fact, I saw something just recently posted on LinkedIn about a guy who had cybersecurity training and was trying to get into that field, and he just kept being turned down because he didn't have any work experience. And so he ended up he ended up getting a job, but what he did was he got some of his own servers and switches, some used equipment, put together a test lab, and then started doing problems on the test lab and documenting them and posting them on social media and LinkedIn. And then once he started doing that, and they saw that, I guess it was his way of proving that he knew what he was doing. He ended up getting hired. But I thought, wow, what a lot to do. So good luck. Cybersecurity is a big deal, and a lot to learn too. Yeah, you're right. Everybody's right. That's a pretty easy one. It's a verb. So that means we do have a group of people that are smarter than a fifth grader here. Let's see here. What's the next one? Oh, here's a hard one. Let's see if you know this one. I never heard this one. So here's the question. Are you smarter than a fifth grader? What is the term for a word that is spelled the same forwards and backwards? And here's two examples: radar or level. That's the two example words. What is it called? What's the term for that? Anybody know that? Bryce just joined. Good morning. Question. I never had heard this before. Yeah. Smarty Pants jumps in there with the correct answer. I knew somebody. Ed's like the lurker. He was lurking, waiting for a really hard question. I knew you were smarter than a fifth grader. I wasn't. I didn't know the answer to it. It's a smart cookie, I tell you. Anagram, no. Yes, you're correct, Taylor. That's correct. I knew Evan. He, like I said, he's smart. Let's see. Okay, so here's another one. This is around English and grammar, which is, I was going to be a teacher, but the English and grammar was the part I couldn't get by. So I never got to do that. Anyway, so here you go. Are you smarter than a fifth grader? Which punctuation mark is used to show a sudden break in a sentence to emphasize a parenthetical thought? Wasn't that a long word? So here we go. Which punctuation mark is used to show a sudden break in a sentence to emphasize a parenthetical thought? Oh my God, some people have such a good, great sense of humor. Oh man. Come on, my YouTube. I think my YouTubers, do you know yesterday? I do not know why. It's probably just a fluke. But I think we had at one time on YouTube watching live like 25 people. And this morning it's been like, 2, 3, 4, about like normal. So maybe they just weren't awake this morning. But it's after 7 o'clock, so. I barely got the English fast. Well, I tell you what, that's funny when you talk about the high school days is I remember I was taking geometry and I've heard my grandkids say, oh, geometry was so easy. And I just could not wrap my head around that class. I ended up passing, but I had to get a girl in the class and the teacher to helped me a lot. And it didn't take the test, but I had to really study and I really had a problem with theorems. I just thought they were dumb and couldn't wrap my common sense brain around them. But anyway, I ended up I got through that class. I think the teacher felt sorry for me and gave me a C. When normally I made A's and B's, but the girl in the class that really understood it, that helped me the most, more than the teacher, she couldn't spell cat. And so I helped her write her English paper, and she helped me pass my geometry from it. So there you go. Life story. Never know what somebody can help you with. You're 30. There you go. I like that handle. So the answer is nobody got that answer. It's the hyphen or dash. How about that? I would have got that one wrong for sure. That was too easy. No, that was too easy. Yeah. Oh, now this one's really hard. This one, I don't know if anybody will even get this one, but it's a science question. So, are you smarter than a fifth grader? What are the three main types of rocks found on Earth? And they're asking for the three types of rocks that are found on Earth. I would have to ask the question, who cares? A rock is a rock. There's smooth rocks, there's river rocks, there's limestone rocks. That's correct, Ed. That's one of them. Can't remember the other two. See what's laughing. Oh, that's funny. Don't know. See that. I think they slipped in a college question there. I'm not sure. Diane Johnson. Okay, so Ed got one of the three. So I would say he is definitely smarter than a fifth grader. Indigenous is one rock, sedimentary is the other, and metamorphic. And I was like, that's kind of like one of those questions where you ask it and you're like, well, who cares? A rock is a rock that you can throw, one that you can put in a slingshot, one that you can skip in on water. I love skipping rocks. If you're ever really frustrated and you got to access to some of those thin, flat river rocks, man, you can skip them across the water there. It's fun. I remember doing that as a kid. That was a big deal. We had a rock skipping contest. So who could make their rock skip the most number of times going across the water. That's just wrong. Okay, so this is kind of a tough one and a different one. So are you smarter than a fifth grader? I can't believe that they would even ask a fifth grader this question, but if they did, here it is. What do you call the scientific principle where water sticks to both sides of a thin tube or pipe, allowing it to move upward against gravity? Now that one's hard. You're too funny, girl. Oh. And now we had a lurker jump in there and put the. Anybody? Going. This is the last question. Mr. Fix-It or Miss Fix-It, I'm not sure. I'm guessing it's Mr. Fix-It. Mr. Fix-It over here on YouTube is absolutely correct. It's called capillary action. Capillary action. Well, it's been fun. It's Thursday. You got to hear me sing today. Wow. You could probably mark this day on your calendar. Again, everybody, if you haven't already, like, share, follow, subscribe, do all the fun stuff. Bring your friends and family. Tomorrow is Friday. Um, bring your questions. Bring your questions. Well, I think let's do question for question. You ask me a question, and then I get to ask you a question. I always like doing that. It kind of helps me get to know you. And then we'll go from there. What was that pork chop? Yeah, for sure. No, no. Well, the things. Hey, Lord Scone, how's it going, buddy? Runs better, but yep. So we're wrapping it up here for today. Be back at 6 a.m. in the morning. Tomorrow's Friday. Everybody have a wonderful Thursday. Just as a quick reminder, if you want to join us for the men's Bible study, it's tonight at 6:30 in one of the heated garages in Illinois where Ed lives, and it will be streamed on TikTok and YouTube. Fingers crossed. Anyway, come join Ed, I, and other people. And if you can only drop in for a few minutes, that's fine too. But come do that. We always have a good time on Thursdays, a good time to reflect, do a little reflection for the week, and something I always like to do. And so anyway, we can see you tonight during men's Bible study. If we miss you there, that's okay. We will see you again in the morning at 6 a.m. Thank you for joining Dave's Shop. I'm Dave. Go do something kind today, because your kindness, you never know what it's going to do for someone else. Anyway, back in the morning. Y'all have a great, wonderful, and stay safe day. Gotta go. Bye.